watching QuadV, your gaming vision.
That is correct. You are watching QuadV. I am Jay, of course. Joining me on the microphone is Corin, Cadred's very own, of course. We got ClanBase Euro Cup finals action tonight. It's going to be a great game, of course. Team forZe taking on Reason Gaming. Corin, I'm going to pass it over to you, my friend. How are you doing?
Good evening, Joe. I'm doing very well, and I'm looking forward to this game as I look forward to most of the games we cast here. Well, all of them, really, Jay. How about you?
Yeah, especially as of late. I mean, we've had a veritable smorgasbord, a plethora, if you will, of great content, and well, it's our pleasure to bring it, of course. Corin, now looking at I mean, what we've seen in recent memory, of course, we've had the Euro Creek finals, a lot of great Euro Cup games. Really, I mean, it's been just jam-packed, hasn't it? I mean, the online scene has really come alive since the LAN scene has sort of, gone into retreat for winter.
Yeah, the LAN scene always seems to be kind of stronger at summer, and then in the winter the online scene kind of springs back into action, and it's great to be able to. I mean, you don't really want to choose between one or two of them, because LAN games, they obviously create more excitement, they're bigger kind of prizes on stake, but online games do let you watch them week in, week out. We get great teams playing. As you can see, two of Europe's finest teams battling it out tonight to take home the title, and it's great to have all these games always on show for us.
Definitely, definitely. Now, I did have the playoff bracket, but it looks like Corin just sent me a message that the knives have gone live, so don't want to keep the game waiting any longer than it already has done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in-game. Corin, let's talk about predictions, because this is one of those games that really, I mean, it could go either way. If Reason show up and they're not 100%, forZe will take this game from them, won't they?
They will, yeah. We've got two top teams. Both of them knocked out Crackland in their last match, and both those two games, forZe versus Crack and Reason versus Crack, 5 of the 6 maps that were played actually ended 16-13. So you can tell it's been really tight between these last 3 teams, and indeed these 2 teams here on display here. And we've actually got forZe did win the knife round, so Reason have picked Contra as their map. And I don't think that bodes great for forZe, because it seems that all 5 of the forZe members are actually downloading the map, so I'm guessing they haven't played it much.
Not a good sign, really, is it? I mean, ClanBase Euro Cup finals, Contra's in the map rotation, and you don't have it in your actual your maps folder in your Steam apps. That's not particularly great, is it, Corin? That doesn't bode well.
No, you'd have to say that they probably haven't practiced this much, unless, of course, they're just trying to give out the fake confidence here and kind of give Reason false hope by deleting the map, but I think that's fairly unlikely.
If it is, it's a stroke of genius, let's just say that, but I think it's only a stroke of genius that me and you would think of just, for laughs, basically. It's just one of those situations where I can't in fact, I know forZe are pretty good at Contra. I've seen them on Contra a couple of times. I don't think it's one of the stronger maps, and I know Reason are pretty damn good at Contra, so let's do predictions. I'm going to say 16-10 on Contra to Reason, and then it'll be forZe's map choice, of course. So I would have to say that forZe will probably pick something like Inferno. That is one of those stronger maps. But I am going with Reason for the victory here on Contra, Corin. Just the simple fact that I've seen a lot of Reason on Contra. I've seen a lot of Reason in general, but I know that they are very good at Contra.
Paul, if I'm not mistaken, I know ClanBase quite often screw around with the kind of the map rules, but I'm pretty sure, being a double limb event, Reason do only actually need 1 map here. So if your first prediction comes true,
is it not 2 best of 3s? I'm almost certain. Let me check my email, because I think forZe sent me. Let me see what forZe's email said. Was it Winter? I think it was Winter actually who sent it. Here we go. If Reason lose, there will be a second best of 3. Okay, so I guess they have to win 2 then, or 1.5 under the ClanBase rules, which means 1 map and a draw, and that will get them the first best of 3. Of course, Reason coming from the upper bracket, they have the easier task here. forZe, if they do win the first best of 3, they will force a second best of 3, which may even be played on a different night. I'm not entirely certain, because the sort of email that I got from forZe was saying that this best of 3 will be played on a Wednesday. If forZe do manage to win the first best of 3, it could go to a second night, which, I'd rather see all the play in one night for a Euro Cup final, to be honest. I mean, you're not asking an epic amount of play, are you?
No, but it's good to have a second best of 3 if we can get it. I've got to say, when you were talking there, I was kind of trying to get my head around what ClanBase have done, and in the end I realised it wasn't actually quite logical, and it's still the double limb format. They've just made each map into a best of 3.
Each map?
I guess it does make sense. Well, normally, obviously, forZe need 2 and Reason need 1. Whereas here, if Reason win this best of 3, they've won, and forZe need to win this best of 3 and the next best of 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Well, that's what I was trying to get at. Maybe you put it a little bit more eloquently than I managed. But yeah, basically, I mean, Reason have the much easier task here. They've got their own home map to start. Well, I wouldn't call Contra the home map, but they've got a map that definitely they're good at, and they're going to be looking to put the boot in early here. Perhaps even lock it up in 2. It being a best of 3, of course. I do see this going to 3 maps, to be quite honest. I don't see really Reason absolutely steamrolling forZe. forZe, one of Europe's top teams as well, formerly known as MGC, of course. I mean, they're not a particularly bad team at all, are they, Corin?
No, they're a great team, but you've got to say they've actually picked Train for the second map, and Reason are no weak players on that either. So it could be a tough one for the Russians here.
That's one of those maps where if WT is on, that's going to change the whole course of the game, because I mean, one good ARP on Train can pretty much dictate where the action takes place. I mean, if WT plays inside and they go with, say, a 3-man stack on the outside side, that could be absolutely devastating if WT can carry that inside side. Which I mean, we can see him in warm up now. It seems like he's getting there. I mean, it looks like the WT of old. He's had a couple of bad games as of late, to be quite honest. I mean, the last time that we did see Reason, perhaps WT didn't play as well as could be expected. But I mean, even WT at sort of 85%, it's still better than 9/10 of Europe's top players, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I personally voted him for AWP of the Year, and shameless plug coming up, Cadred Awards of 2008, which you can still actually vote on until tomorrow. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him win that, and possibly even Player of the Year, because I know he's nominated for that too. So I mean, he really is one of Europe's finest AWPers, and as you say, when he's on his game, I wouldn't want to play against him. Not that I'd want to play against any of these players in an official match, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, would get quite embarrassing quite quickly for players of our standard to go up against these in an official. But like you're saying, the Cadred End of Year Awards, I went with WT as best player. I think I went with Rattlesnake as best ARPer, because I couldn't really decide between the two who was best player and best ARPer. So I thought, well, I'll split the kudos, and that way everyone's happy. You can vote on that by going to cadred.org, of course. Like Corin said, polls still open until tomorrow. Corin, I mean, we've already done predictions and as such. It looks like we're just waiting for them to get live now. In fact, you know what? Let's do the quick roster rundown, because that's something that I haven't done so far. Starting with your forZe roster, of course. We got Huxflux, Iceberg, Limper, Typhon, Com, and Alone. That's, of course, 6-man roster. The 5 that we got in server are Limper, Ice, Com, Huxflux, and Alone. Looking at your Reason roster, of course. 1 second. Just let me pull that up. There we go. And you can see we got WT, PHP, UN, PR, and Snipes. That's your usual 5 in course for Reason. I mean, that chemistry that Reason have built over I'd say, really since, they were at eSuba, and I was tipping them as one of Europe's top up-and-coming teams. They seem to just keep building and building on that, don't they? I mean, they every time that they play Salvo, Dignitas now, they seem to take them that little bit further. They seem to be constantly improving, but then again, everybody else in Europe is constantly improving. I mean, we've seen teams like Crackclan come a long way in recent memory. It's really is an intriguing scene at the moment, isn't it, Corin? With no CGS, and it's really just about dedication now, as opposed to we're being supported, so we have to practice, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. I mean, CGS's death, I think it was not necessarily a good thing for global esports, but it's hard to persuade people in Europe of that, given what great things it's actually done for the source scene with all the new kind of talented teams popping up. And I've got to say that the source scene right now, in this continent at least, is looking stronger than I can remember ever looking. We've got some really fantastic teams, and I just hope that pretty soon we can have an event where we can actually get them all into one room and see who battles it out to the end. Yeah.
Well, the LAN season will be starting up soon enough, and we will start to see those events start to pick up, hopefully. Because, I mean, the teams that we have now, I think with the CGS's demise, I think we see now a situation where the playing field's sort of much more level, and it's going to be a little bit more intriguing when it comes to LANs. Anyway, it looks like we are going to be restarting here for the live. So, I'm looking forward to this game, but I do think that it is going to be a Reason victory. But I think it's still going to go to 3 maps in the first best of 3, depending on what the third map is, of course. I mean, Train, then again, it might not even get to that, if like I said, if WT's on. So I think really forZe have to set the pace early here on the T-Pistols on Contra. Anyway, we are live now. As we can see, we've got a lone with the bomb. Looks like forZe could be contemplating going A here. Let me just pull up the map and we can see exactly what's going on. Oh, well, it would appear that my map isn't working. Oh, that's right, because Contra doesn't have a map, does it? GG. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's starting to work over towards A high. Big nade hit coming in, though, towards forZe's position. We've got WT on that A site as well, so it's looking like forZe here slowed down somewhat, Corin. Do you think they're just waiting for that first initial pick? Because we still have somebody actually flashing over towards B here.
Well, we've got HuxFlux just kind of, and Com, I believe, faking on the B side. They've got that one pick onto PHP. And Limp is in there too, so it seems they've kind of... The bomb still seems to be at A, so they've actually faked both sides. Reason aren't quite sure where the fake is. And we've now got the bomb, I presume... No, it's gonna stay there. A good shot there by Ice, and it was just kind of... Reason couldn't keep up with where everyone was rotating to that round, and they got outplayed.
That was... you know, that was kind of obscure play from forZe, really. I mean, splitting the A and B sites like that. I think it was supposed to be a B fake, but they kind of got the entrance on the B site and got the kills that was needed. So I suppose it's always good if you can fake and actually get the kills, and that's going to make your calls for the bomb fake that's just a little bit better. Anyway, Reason now on the deco, as we can see. forZe with MP5s, Galils, and I'd imagine... let me just check the scoreboard. Yeah, I'd imagine that Con probably has an AK as well. No, in fact, Con with the MP5, so... No MP5s in play. It looks like who's that going to be on the Deagle Eco here for forZe? Limper's still got a pistol, so I guess they're waiting for the money to actually purchase up AWPs here, which is kind of interesting. But then again, it can lead to that situation that we just saw in mid, where WT can actually take advantage of it with his Deagle skills and you know, shoot for the head, so to speak. WT falling back over towards the dry river. Looks like the A push has started here as Lom picks up the MP5 kill onto Snipes. Iced watching the sort of A tunnel here. 25 HP does manage to actually get the kill with HuxFlux. Deagle onto WT. Com also getting an MP5 kill onto UN. PHP on the rotation here. Don't particularly see him getting the, well, I was going to say even getting the kill, let alone the defuse. HuxFlux though with the headshot, and it's now a 2-0 scoreline. Corin, what have forZe done so far that's impressed you?
Well, so far, Reason, I mean, I don't want to speak too early until they've had the buy round, but the first round they had to download the maps, and they said nice map after the first round, so honestly I'm not sure how much they've played with this map before, but I wouldn't know if that first round was a nicely scripted tactic or just playing it by the kind of by ear and seeing what happens.
Well, this is definitely a
so
scripted
far
tactic.
Just kinda...
Impressive push onto the A side. Sorry, onto the B side, I should say.
I mean, it is a 3-on-3, but I can't see Reason retaking this with USPs and fairly low health. Even if they've now got a man advantage.
An AK and an MP5 as well, so I don't know, it could be done, but then again, HuxFlux watching from dark spot. He's there with the AK-47 frag. PR rushing forward with that USP. He's not going to get the kill. The bomb too far gone now. It is going to explode. HuxFlux going to lose his AK, but I guess he's thinking no harm, no foul. I mean, that's only, what, $4,500 worth of kit. Less than that because didn't have any grenades left, so I suppose he's not going to be stressing about that too much. And I think he actually got the bomb frags as well, so he's probably, in fact, happy that the bomb actually got a chance to explode. 3-0 the scoreline. Let's take a look at your top scorers. Top scorer in server so far is going to be Com, 5-0. HuxFlux, 5-1. And third place, that's going to go to Ice, 4-1. Of course, still early goings here, so don't read too much into the scorelines that we have. Reason are going to be on the bye as well, so this is going to be the round that really does actually count here for forZe. If they can win this first gun round, they are going to put Reason on the back foot, aren't they, Corin?
They are, yeah. We've got an AWP in play from each team here, so I think that could be a big... I mean, it's not a great AWPing map at times, but there's plenty of places where you can use it to get that early pick and give your team the advantage in the round. Still, forZe are kind of... They're not committing to any site so far this game. They're splitting across the map. I think it does seem like they're all going over to the B side now for a slow push in. With the exception of a fake. Ice is about to come up against two CTs. Didn't know Snipes was there, got taken him down, and right back at the other side, they're now pushing in, and I think they're two good shots there by Com, gets them into this B bomb zone. They should be able to get the bomb down. Sorry, I didn't see PHP coming in from flank room there.
Cheeky counter push. PR also on the rotation as well. He's going to grab the headshot to Com. The bomb has been planted though, so Reason really at a disadvantage here as the flashbang goes off. That's going to completely blind Snike. Snake's he's going to be hanging back towards CT spawn here. He's pushed over towards the dark spot. We've still got Limper watching from Plank Room. Picks up the leg shot onto Pierre. Nicely done. That's good art play. He does spot, I believe that's Snipes. Yep, and he's going to get the kill as well. Nicely done. 4-0 scoreline. forZe holding down the B site though, and really Reason had sort of positional advantage once they got those couple of kills. I mean, Limper shouldn't have been able to hold from Plank Room. Probably should have been flashed and pushed, shouldn't he?
Yeah, but you know, forZe really are I've got to say, I do generally tend to underestimate them. I'm not sure why, but I don't seem to kind of, in my head, give them the credit that they do deserve, and every time I watch them I end up thinking that, and they're playing very well as a team, and they know when to face as a team rather than as individuals, and it's making it very hard for Reason to get back into the bomb site once the bomb is down.
Reason are one of those teams that, you know, the individual skills usually can get the job done, but going up against HooksFlux and Limper just hanging back here, waiting for those picks, which they do get, UN and WT both being dropped. I don't see any way that they can actually salvage something from this round, because really forZe, without taking too much damage, I mean, we can see Limper down to 77 HP and HooksFlux down to 38, but they haven't taken any casualties and they've made good progress here. 2-man advantage. Let's see if they can press the action now over towards the A site. PHP with a deagle shot, though. It's going to be a 1 dig by the sounds of it. So just flashing down to the lower side as Com picks up that headshot to PR. PHP making his way through those tunnels. He's going to get another deagle shot. He did connect with the chest, but not able to get the kill. Eventually getting the headshot to Com, but shut down by Limper again. Limper's AWP so far has been ridiculously on, hasn't it, Corin?
It has, yeah. I've got to say, I'm really looking forward to seeing him take on WT in train. I think that could be one of the one-on-one battles of 2009 this early. Even here, so far, I don't think we've actually had an AWP. WT's gone very aggressive. Limper has no idea he's there. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not actually Limper. Do we have 2 AWPs?
Com does have an AWP.
Yes, Com's also picked up an AWP.
And saw me leap down from there as well. Was that WT?
He's been in the river for most of this round now. He's got down to 16 health here.
I can see UN also falling back in towards that B site. WT sort of just running around the map like a madman at this point. He does have an AWP, so I imagine that he is going to be looking for the picks over towards the B site here as Alone picks up the headshot to Snipes. This is really not the start that Reason would have wanted to the second gun round. Looks like Limper is going to be making his way over towards the A high now, so him and Iceberg going to be trying to actually get control of this A site. We see that there's a headshot to WT, nicely done. That's going to be probably Reason's key play shutdown as PHP also being decimated by Com's AK fire. Bomb has gone down. It's going to be, PR, as you can see. PR and, he's going to grab the second headshot as well into Alone. I was going to say, and you are going to dry riverbed, but UN's going to be shut down by Com's headshot, and that's going to leave PR in a very vulnerable position. You can see Limper from A high, though, with the AWP finishing him off. 6-0 scoreline now, Corin, and, Reason just don't have what it... Well, I'm maybe a little bit too early to count them out here on the CT side, but so far they don't seem like they can hold forZe back.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to say it is a slightly T-biased map, but 6-0 is definitely not a great start, and maybe I'm speaking too early, but I'm starting to wonder if maybe Reason took a gamble choosing a map that they don't really like and they're not really that great on, and just hoping forZe just crumble under the pressure of playing a map they don't know, and so far forZe are just shoving that back in Reason's face, really, and they're having a whale of a time, and it seems they've broken into the A-bomb site again with the bomb. It's just really hardly any resistance so far.
Well, WT putting up some resistance over towards the A site. He does get the kill onto Iceberg. PHP also with the M4 kill onto HooksFlux. So this could be the round that it all turns around here for Reason. Would have to be some time now, though. You can see we got WT actually taking flashbangs and HE on the A high. The exit to it has also been smoked as well. So this is one of those situations now where Alone has really got to get this pick onto WT, but that's easier said than done, to be quite honest. You see him checking out the A low. Just had the bomb in hand, jumps down right in front of PR, gets headshotted as he slides down the side. PHP and company now starting the rotation because they know the bomb is down there, so just a case of covering the bomb here as PHP picks up another M4 kill. That's going to be Com shut down. As we can see, Limper copped in a rock and a hard place here. He's going to be flashbanged and I'd imagine just pinned here. I can't see anyone particularly facing him, but Swap out the AWP, but doesn't get the job done. PHP though with the M4 headshot, and that's the first round on the board for Reason. That's going to be a huge psychological bonus. Reason not particularly renowned for sort of falling to pieces as a team, but the first 6 rounds really didn't look like the Reason of old. I mean, this is sort of 09 now. Are we seeing a different Reason, Corin?
You've got to say, even that round I wasn't too impressed with Reason though. I mean, you had that sneaky little kill from just sat behind the site where you wouldn't expect PR to be in. Really, they did rely on PHP that round with 3 good kills, and including a very impressive kind of tactical piece of movement there at the end while Limper was flashed. And I think they really need to up their game as a team if they want to stay in this map now.
Most definitely. I think it's one of those situations where anytime that you sort of, it's red rag to a bull anytime that you show forZe a weakness. forZe are one of those teams where they may not be considered one of Europe's best by a lot of pundits out there, but then again, a lot of pundits don't know what they're talking about. And really, after seeing forZe for the past probably 2 years now, in fact, they've always been in and around the top 5 in my estimation. So to see them taking it to Reason the way that they have done so far, I'm not particularly all that surprised, to be quite honest. Limper with the double kills, HE onto PHP and an AK frag just before that as a lone picks with the headshot to WT. It's exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't give forZe the respect that they deserve, they will anti-strat you. It looks like HooksFlux there with the AK headshot as well, so it's going to be all left up to Snipes here. Snipes making the rotation, but this is going to be, I was going to say this is going to be token resistance, and maybe trying to save that M4 would have been the smart thing, but Reason again putting all their eggs in one basket, Corin, and they find themselves now down 7-1, but worse than being down 7-0, they're now cash screwed, aren't they?
They are. It looks like they're definitely ecoing again, and I think they'll be able to afford an AWP after this eco. I could well be wrong about that. We've still got a very relaxed, very slow play here by forZe, but Reason are running straight into all their bullets, and UN does put up, like you said, token resistance really against Com.
8-1.
Just nothing going their way.
It just seems like the little 2-man pushes that Reason are putting on at this point, they don't seem to be working. Just for the simple fact that forZe seem to be going en masse. They're not particularly making too many mistakes here, and really the 1 versus 1 players, I'm kind of hesitant to say this because this will probably get me tore to pieces on IRC because, Reason do have a first share of fanboys, but the 1 versus 1s have really been going the way of forZe now. I know this is a T-sided map, but like Corin said, it's not 6-0 and it's definitely not 8-1, is it, Corin?
It's not, no, and I totally agree with your aim. I mean, I've already mentioned forZe's kind of tactical gameplay, which is impressing me, but you've got to say that they're not coming up short when they're going for these shots, and now we've said this, they are actually getting taken down slightly, but in most of the one-on-ones we're seeing, they are coming up jumps, and it's looking good for them.
HooksFlux has made good position here. He's making his way over towards the A site as he grabs a headshot to WT. See him just watching that ramp as Com picks up the HE onto Snipes. This is looking good here for forZe. forZe going to start to move over towards the A site. You see the flashbangs going in. HooksFlux cutting the rotation. He's going to pick up that headshot with the 7.62 round delivered to the face of PHP. UN with the FAMAS at close range. He's not going to get the job done. HooksFlux there for his hat-trick kill. And that's now a 9-1 scoreline. Cara, if this goes anywhere near sort of 12-3, we could very well see the first map go to forZe.
I think you'd have to put your money on forZe right now, even at this score, because I mean, 9-1 is just, it's going to be next to impossible to come back from this, and unless they can really turn up their attention, turn up back to their normal gameplay, and they're on eco again this round by the look of it, so that makes it 10-1 already, and you need a better start than this in such a big final.
Most definitely, most definitely. I mean, it's one of those situations where you're already fighting an uphill struggle being on the CT side to start with. I mean, losing the pistols the way they did, that's not going to help, but the free, in fact, I think we've had 4 gun rounds now, only one of which going Reason's way. And that wasn't really all that convincing, was it, Corin? I mean, the gun round, it was down to a 2-on-1, and they only just managed to pick up the 2-on-1. So, I mean, at this point, what the Reason really need to change? Is it just a matter of picking up these kills like UN has just done?
I really think it is, yeah. They're just getting beaten in 1-on-1s and 2-on-1s, and even when they're pushing in numbers with guns, they're still getting taken down far too easily, and they've just got to step up their game here.
Well, the bomb does go down, as you can see. The B site now completely empty. All the action going to be happening over towards the... sorry, I should say the opposite way around. The A site now completely empty. All the action is going to be happening over towards B, We've got Iceberg boosted. Looks like he is going to be holding for the sewers push, but you know, I don't think Reason are even going to be pushing here. It doesn't look like UN's particularly making that much of an effort. Looks like WT's just setting up for the exit kills. So the I suppose the eco could have been a lot worse. At least they've managed to get a weapon out of it. But still, I mean, going down 10-1, Corin. I wouldn't have predicted this scoreline in a month of Sundays, to be quite honest.
No, it's far more one-sided than I expected, and I've got to say, if I was going to predict a one-sided match, it wouldn't have been going this way. But I'm really pleased for forZe that they're proving me wrong, and I only hope Reason can get back into this so that it's really more than just a kind of a 2-0 hammering.
Well, as we can see, it looks like we are going to see forZe going aggressive over towards the B site here. The flashbang's going off. Looks like they're going to be team blinding each other. I did hear somebody just get dropped. I'm not quite sure who that was. That would have been Iceberg and Com picking up kills. PHP with the reply, but Alone and Com again picking up kills. As you can see, Iceberg going for the plant. PR, your last man standing here from Reason. He's making his way through those sewers, and it looks like he's just going to be setting up for exit kills again here, Corin. This is going to go 11-1. This is just absolute domination from forZe. I mean, what is it that forZe are doing that's particularly special that Reason can't get their head around? Because to me, it's looking like they're just rushing and getting kills. I mean, there's no real strats, though. The flashbangs weren't even that tight.
They really are, yeah. They're just playing their game and playing it better than Reason right now. There's, you know, Reason have tried switching stuff up. They've tried the eco rushes, the buy rushes. They've tried a few little strats, and just nothing's going right. And I think the only thing Reason can do, they've got two choices: hope that forZe actually just stop playing well, or step their game up themselves and match them. And they've got to do it fast before time runs out.
Well, they can still salvage, I suppose, an 11-4 from this, which wouldn't be, you know, completely diabolical, but still, I mean, that's not the scoreline that Reason would have been shooting for on the CT side, and that doesn't leave much margin for error either. I mean, one pistol and a sort of gun round loss, and that's pretty much GG. Now, let's see what Reason are capable of doing here, because PR has pushed all the way forward. Iceberg with the opening AK-47 frag, though. Alone picks off Snipes as well, and, well, we now find ourselves in a 5-on... I was going to say 5-on-3, but it's now 4-on-3 as WT there with the alt fight to equal it up. PHP smash headshot as well. It's going to make it back to a 3-on-3. 3-on-2 now as HooksFlux picks up the kill onto PHP. And this is the thing, I mean, every time that forZe seemingly have been leveled back up, they take the advantage the way that we've just seen Iceberg do. It's now a 2-on-1. And really, I think UN here, he's going to be fighting somewhat of an uphill struggle. You can see him trying to get all the way up towards A high here. Just managed to get the kill onto Iceberg. No bomb plant yet, so you could actually hold down the A site here, but it looks like Limper has gone B. Bit of cheeky play. He's going to be sneaking around the back here. I think HooksFlux going for the B plant as well, so UN cottoning onto that. He realises that with 35 seconds left, he's got to get over towards the B site, but he is going to be shut down by Limper's art play. I think Limper has been the difference maker so far. I mean, if you look at the scoreboard, him and Com definitely, you know, the two standout players when it comes to kill to death ratio. We got Iceberg as well on 16 and 7, but that's with bomb frags. So, in fact, no, it's not with bomb frags. Who was it who actually got the explosion? Was that Com? I think it was Com actually.
I'm afraid I've no idea about the bomb explosion, but I mean, really, none of the forZe players are on negative KDs, and you'd have to say that Com and Limper with their ups are definitely making a huge difference. But they're playing a great game, and none of them are really a weak link right now.
Meanwhile, over at the Reason side, Snipes 3 and 13. That's, in fact, you know what's the most telling thing? No player from Reason has a positive KDR at this point. The closest to is PHP on 10 and 11. The next closest is going to be PR on 6 and 12, which is a 0.5 kill to death ratio, which that's pretty pathetic, to be quite honest. It's not what we're used to seeing from Reason. You know, I am a big fan of this Reason squad, but when they play bad, they can play bad. Now we're seeing HooksFlux and Alone here picking up kills. I say bad, I don't mean bad sort of, you know, like low bob, but we're talking not what we're used to seeing here from Reason so far, are we, Corin?
No, we're not. I mean, I've been trying to work out to what extent this is just forZe being fantastic and to what extent it is Reason underachieving. And, you know, forZe are playing a great game, don't get me wrong. I think they could give Reason, if they play like this, they can give Reason a good match any day. But certainly there are shots that Reason are missing that they shouldn't be missing and they wouldn't normally miss. And those two factors are just... they're making a 13-1 score right now, and if it goes 14-1, that's just demoralising.
Completely destitute now of Reason. I mean, looking at a situation here where you're talking like FAMAS has been pretty much the go-to weapon for half the players from Reason. And you know you're in trouble when you see the FAMAS being broken out now. WT's going to grab himself 2 Deagle headshots, but Still not going to stop the B plant here as HuxFlux gets that down. You know, Reason notoriously slow to start sometimes, but this is something else, to be quite honest. It's a combination of forZe playing exceptionally well and Reason just not reaching the potential that they normally do. I think this is a case of just New Year's blues here for Reason. Do you think this could be the first game back for them?
I think it could well be, yeah. I'm not actually sure if they've had a break, but I wouldn't be surprised if they've had a little break from competitive playing. I think the one thing to remember is that so many teams would drop their heads after losing 14-1 the first half, but Reason, we've seen them, you know, they performed great at the at LAN 79 after really thousands of people were just sat at home calling them cheaters. They always kind of hold their heads together and keep trying right till the last round. And at the same time, I think if they were doing the same to forZe, I think forZe have that mentality too. forZe, you know, there's so much it's so easy to get LAN experience in Russia with so many events taking place at LAN centres, and I think both of these teams would be able to come back from this, and I'm hoping Reason can at least give an attempt at a comeback here.
You know, there's very few things that actually piss me off in the Source community, but the accusations, you know, because forZe are Russian and they don't necessarily get out to Central Europe a lot, those really do get on my nerves. I've already had a couple of people PM me and say, "Oh, well, this is kind of dodgy, isn't it? We don't really know these forZe guys. Why are they absolutely destroying Reason?" Well, they're just a great team, you know what I mean? They're one of those teams who bring a lot to the table. Now, WT's going to start the round off with PR as well. They're both going to grab headshots, and it looks like the bomb is going to go down B here. Corin, could this be the perfect start to Reason's second half comeback?
Well, it's definitely the start they needed, but I think after the first half start, it's going to have to get a lot more perfect than just winning a pistol round here.
This is true. WT actually cut in spawn. It looks like Snikesy's going to pick up the final headshot onto Iceberg, so that is going to be the first round here on the board for you terrorists of Reason in the second half. Still, though, I mean, the scoreline 14-2. I really didn't think I'd be seeing that scoreline, Corin. That's just a ridiculously one-sided first half drumming. Maybe Reason can salvage a little bit something from this, but I do anticipate this map now going over to forZe, just a simple fact that Reason have absolutely no margin for error here. You can see that forZe are playing with a confidence that's bordering on arrogance right now. We've got Snikes and WT actually picking up kills on that push, but rightfully so. I mean, the way that forZe played in the first half, they have that huge cushion. You know that they can play a little bit, I wouldn't say cocky or arrogant, but definitely, yeah, they can play more aggressive than they normally would, let's just say that. Anyway, the bomb goes down, UM picks up the final headshot, and that's going to be the end of the second round of the second half. 2-0 the scoreline, 14-3 overall, of course. And, well, we're going to see that telling gun round, not this round, the next round. So, I suppose it's really, you know, this should be another quite easy round for Reason. It's going to be interesting to see if forZe can actually pull out some kind of eco, though. And not an eco victory, because that would be exceptionally hard, but maybe a couple of eco kills, because that could make a huge difference coming into the next round, of course. I mean, if you manage to take that AK away from WT, he's not going to have the money to buy a full kit with his AWP. Now, Limper pushing around, he is going to get that USP kill. That's going to be a headshot onto WT. PR still in play. He's going to chop down Iceberg, and well, that's going to leave forZe in a very actionable position here. We've got Limper jumping down. He's going to switch out his Glock with the Deagle, and rightfully so. So the bomb is going to go down on that B site. Sorry, on the A site, I should say. Very smart play from Reason, I should say, to actually plant on the A site. But if Limper can get out of here with an AK, I think that's probably a good round for forZe, isn't it?
It is, yeah, but I mean, Reason's still not looking that impressive. I saw 2 kills for WT go up, and I thought, you know, has he started finally warming up? And you know, I switched to watch him, see how he could do, and all I saw was him spray 20 bullets and miss a USP and die to it. So I mean, it's not looking good for. You know, they got that nice easy eco round, and they've got the 3 rounds on the board to push them to 14-4. But against guns, I'm really not very hopeful for them.
It's not particularly the sort of aggression that we're used to seeing from Reason. Thinking back to, you know, Reason playing T-side of Nuke against, well, at the time, Salvo. Just absolute decimation from WT's off. And it doesn't seem like WT's particularly all that on. I mean, he is the top scorer so far, I'd imagine. Yep, 6-1 in server on the T side, but his first half performance left a little bit something lacking. Now, Com is going to be taken down by PHP. That's a huge kill. Com, of course, well, he was. Did Com actually top score the first half? I know he was towards the latter end, the top scorer.
Pretty sure he did, yeah.
So it's going to be a very important kill here. Corin, at this point, you've made that hole over towards the A site. Do you think about maybe faking B and then switching back to A, or just waiting for another pick here because really Reason seemed to be giving forZe a lot of respect, and Alon's going to capitalise on that. He's going to pick up the AWP kill into PR. What do you think the next move for Reason is?
I mean, we've still got CTs on both sides. You've got Ice sat in that just dark spot in B. It looks like the bomb's coming into B, but I can't see them getting it down because they won't know Ice is there. They get him. So PHP just runs up, doesn't see him. And that's game point now for forZe. And can you see them getting the rest of the rounds here for Reason?
No, I can't see them forcing the draw here in the first map. Really, Hux Flux and Iceberg just doesn't afraid of anything at all that round. They just absolutely destroyed the Reason push. And you know it's one of those situations where that dark spot, you know it's an exceptionally important spot. You've got to get at least have one flashbang to get into the, and at least have a scout around it. But really, Reason didn't do that. They just pushed straight in and got absolutely destroyed. Now, speaking of Reason, let's find out where the T's are going. Did have the cash to purchase AKs, but you have to hazard a guess. Let's find out where WT is. Yeah, no art for WT here. Oh, does he? No, just a Deagle to play with. So. Again, really Reason putting all the eggs in one basket as Hux Flux gets the headshot into the back of WT. Looks like we are now going to see a situation unfold where forZe are going to pick up game point here as UN and PHP both shut down. It's going to leave Snipes on the A high site with that AK-47. He's got the HE to work with as well, but as you can see, that HE comes in towards his position. Doesn't take any damage though, very fortunate in that situation. He's managed to get his flash off, but he is going to be picked by Limper, and that's going to be GG, of course. On the first map, I mean, this is a best-of-3 format, so there is plenty of time here for Reason to right the proverbial ship. And they only need to win one best-of-3. It is a two best-of-3 format, meaning that the first best-of-3 will be on, I think you said the next map's going to be Train, didn't you, Corin? I
did, yep. I've no idea what the third map will be if we do need it.
I guess that's going to be done by selection. I guess whoever, whichever maps they want to drop, they'll drop, and then they'll pick whichever map it is from the remaining pool. Anyway, I think the pertinent thing to do here is to take a quick break. Myself and Corin shall be back in a matter of mere moments, hopefully, for the ClanBase Euro Cup finals. Team forZe taking on Reason Gaming. Reason Gaming going down, 16 to 4? Let me just check. Yeah, 16 to 4 in the first map on Contra. Quite a surprising result. Anyway, when we come back, we will have more action, so don't go anywhere. Keep it locked.
Counter-Strike, Quake, Enemy Territory, Supreme Commander, Battlefield, Unreal Tournament. Your game, your coverage, your QuadV, QuadV.com.